Hey ladies, yes, lucky for you, I'm back with another video. I know it's been like 3 years now since my last video, but I'm back, and Lucy actually inspired me to start making videos again because she complimented one of my eye looks and was like, I need a tutorial, and I was like, girl, I got you. So here I am. Lucy, this video is dedicated to you. Also, her and my friend Maddie have a YouTube channel that I will link down below that you guys should definitely follow. They upload more than me, so that's good. And yeah, this eye look will really make brown eyes pop, or even hazel eyes. So if you're interested, just keep watching. Okay, so to start, I put my CeraVe PM moisturizer on all over my face just so my makeup can go on smoothly. So then, as a primer, I take the Murad Invisible Protecting Shield and just focus that on my T-zone, but I also add it all around my face. And so my foundation, I use the Born This Way by Too Faced in the shade Nude, and this is one of my favorite foundations to use when doing a medium to full coverage look. And to apply my foundation, I take a damp beauty blender just because I feel like when I use a brush, it leaves streaks, and I am not about that. So I just take it and apply it all over my face. I try not to focus under my eyes though, because I know I'm going to be adding concealer later and I don't want it to cake up. So once my foundation is all done, I take my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Medium and apply it in triangles under my eyes just to cover dark circles, and it focuses light on the under your eyes. And I also apply it on my eyelids just to get a clean slate for eyeshadow, and on my nose to get a more natural looking highlight. And to blend out my concealer, I just use the same damp beauty blender I used for my foundation and use patting motions to really set it and press it into my skin. So then to set the under eye concealer so that it doesn't crease, I take the Coty Airspun Translucent Face Powder and just press it into my skin with the Beauty Blender. So then as my concealer sets with the powder on it, I just take my pointed brush by Morphe. It doesn't have a number just because I got it in a set, so I'm sorry, but I take that and I dip it in the shade Espresso, which is the middle one, on the Deep Palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills in the Contour Cream Kit. And I just focus on my cheekbones mostly, my forehead, and then the jawline. Then I just blend it out with the Ultimate Blending Brush by e.l.f., which is like $2 at Target, and it's really good. So then, just like we set our under eye concealer, we have to set our contour just to make sure it stays in place. So I take my Morphe angled brush. It again doesn't have a number because it's from the set, but I take the Maybelline Dream Sun bronzer in the shade 110. I honestly don't know if they sell this anymore, but I go pretty harsh and I just outline the areas I did with the Anastasia Beverly Hills. So once I let my concealer bake a little bit in the Coty Airspun powder, I can finally brush it off. And to do that, I just use my blending brush by Real Techniques. And I also use it to blend out my bronzer just so it's not as harsh. I honestly don't really remember what happened here because I filmed this like 9 years ago. But I think I got like an eyelash in my eye and I just couldn't see for like 10 minutes, but it's fine. I got it out. So once my bronzer is all blended out, I do my blush, and I use the Too Faced in the color Your Love is King, and I just do a little smile and put it where my apples on my cheeks are, just because that's where I'd be blushing the most, you know. So then to blend out my blush so it's not as harsh and pink, I just take the same Real Techniques multitask blending brush again just to evenly blend it out. So now to my favorite part of doing my makeup, I take my angled highlighter brush by Real Techniques and my Becca Moonstone liquid highlighter and apply it to the upper part of my cheeks and my nose. I just take the brush and blend it out nice and evenly. So again, we're going to be setting the liquid highlighter with the powder highlighter, which is the same color. It is Moonstone by Becca. And I just take a bigger angled highlighter by Morphe, which also came in my set, and just set it wherever I use the liquid highlighter so it's not as oily and doesn't fall off as fast. Then again, I just use the Real Techniques blending brush and just blend it out. So next onto eyebrows, my process is pretty simple. I just take a spoolie by Morphe and just brush it out because I get a lot of powder in there and I don't want them to look light, so I just brush it out to get that nice dark look. I don't always do this step, but to clean up underneath my contour, I take my beauty blender and just set it with the Coty Airspun powder. So now onto the point of this video, I take my Lorac Pro palette and my Deluxe Concealer brush by Real Techniques, and I take this shade Taupe and I just blend it out into my crease and a little bit above. So the reason I use a concealer brush for my eyeshadow is because I like the more rounded look over the sharper cut look. So then I take a fluffy pointed brush by Morphe and dip it into the shade Sable, and I focus it on the outer corner of my eye first and then drag it into my crease so it's not as dark. Also, when doing darker eye looks like browns or blacks, you want to start with the lighter shade first and move on to your darker shades just so it's not as patchy. Also, I do my outer corner and crease very messily just because I know I'm going to be going in later with my Morphe brush and just blending it out, and I start from the outer corner and work my way inward again. The reason I do this is because I know that if I start from inward outward is that I will be dragging all the dark brown further past my rounded line of where I want it to end. Then I'm going to take my base shadow brush by Real Techniques and use the shade Espresso for a darker outer corner, and I just focus it on the center of my eyelid and drag it outward into the corner for a more smoky eye look. Then to blend out Espresso, I just use the same Morphe angled fluffy brush from my set and use the same motions of working outward in. Then for the shimmer in the inner to center of my eye, I just take my finger to apply the shade Gold from the palette. And the reason I take my finger is because if I use a brush, I feel like I don't get as much glitter on my eye. Then I just take the shade Light Bronze with my flat Morphe brush and focus it on the inner corner of my eyes just to give it a lighter highlighted look. Then I just take the brush that came with my Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette and blend out my crease just so that the shimmer is not going past it and it looks more of a cut crease. So to make my eyes pop and have the look come together, I take my Morphe shorter flat brush in the color Sable and line my lower lash line. So once I finish my eyeshadow, I finally get to brush off the baking that I was doing under my contour. Then for eyeliner, I get to take my Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper Black. It's waterproof liquid eyeliner, and this is the best eyeliner I have ever used. If you rub your eye, I swear it will not come off. Filming my eyeliner is the hardest thing in a tutorial, and I'm sorry, but hopefully I can one day give you a full-on tutorial on how I do my winged liner. So for eyelashes, I just like to take my curler that I got from TJ Maxx and do that on both sides. Then I take my Benefit They're Real and apply that one first. Then secondly, I take the Smashbox Full Exposure Mascara and put it on top of the Benefit They're Real just because I feel like it makes them look fuller and longer. I also use Smashbox for my lower lash line because it makes them look thicker rather than longer, which the Benefit They're Real makes them look. So for lipstick, I just like to take the Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Hudson and apply it all over my lips. So that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I will be back next week or sooner with a video again. And yeah, if you liked, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching.